Hello, Earthbound peeps. My name is Ben Sleva, and I will be the one walking you through this week's episode. Last time, we covered a very long portion of the game, from Pyramid to Dungeon to Dark Swamp. This time, we are going from fighting the primitive to out-of-the-world future tech. The metal man ahead is no Tin Man. He's not looking for a heart because he has no need for one. The 80s called, they want their shoulder pads back. You knew his Junior, and you're about to meet his Deluxe. We all know who I'm talking about, so why am I stalling? Let's strap on our big boy pants and get ready for Starman Deluxe. Last week, we finished our trek through the swamp, defeating our old nemesis Belch Barf once and for all. This time, we prop up on dry land, shake off our boots, and head into a cave filled with friends that we will get to know a bit better shortly. Talking to everyone will show that they're too shy to speak, so like any awkward situation we're part of, we leave. Upon exiting the city, we receive a phone call. It's Apple Kid, your buddy. He's developed a new machine called the Eraser Racer, much like the Pencil Racer. But while on the phone, you hear a commotion, and he is stolen, and the call cuts off. Almost immediately, the phone rings again, and it's Orange Kid. He's trying to unboil an egg, and just kind of slips into the convo that the Apple Kid has headed to Winters to work with Dr. and Donuts. Since we are the heroes after all, we head to Winters to track down our missing friend. But first, and this is very important, teleport to the start of Deep Darkness, and grab at least one multi-bottle rocket that you'll save until the boss. Trust me. Stop at the general store for supplies. You should have weapon upgrades already, so don't worry about them. And grab some coins of silence for your party if you have the scratch. Once you're done buying and talking, leave the store and get ready for a hike. You know the layout from back when we were Jeff, and that knowledge is going to be tested now. The landscape hasn't changed, but there are some horrible baddies that block your path. They include the Lesser Mook, the Whirling Robo, and the Woolly Shambler. They're all disguised as diamond sprites in the overworld, so you don't know what you get until you see them. That'll be a common theme for the rest of the game. Feel free to grind if you want, though. You'll want to be between level 50 or 60 by the boss's dungeon, so plan accordingly. At the bottom of the first segment, you'll go through the same motions as earlier. Stand at the Nessie port and wait for the big old beast to stop by. He'll take the entire party to the southern shore on his head and then say goodbye for the rest of the game. But it's nice to know that he's still there, though. The yin to the Kraken's yang, which no longer exists. Walk your way back through the Brick Road's first dungeon and think of all the good times you've been through. At the bottom end, continue to the Rainy Caves dungeon. That'll lead you straight to the Stonehenge, and ultimately you'll make your way into Dr. and Donut's lab. It is there that you can talk to a mouse, and he'll give you the Eraser Racer. Save your game. You're entering the second hardest dungeon in the game. The hardest being the end game. Welcome to Stonehenge Base. The 40-mile-long cavern has 4 spots. The Purple Squid Maze, the Sword of King's Factory, the Strobe Light Corridors, and the Boss Room. None give you any breaks, and as far as I know, there isn't any butterfly room, so your best bet is to avoid all enemies that you can. If the ones you end up fighting are too tricky for you, then grind a bit in the front of the cave and frequently go back to Dr. Andon's lab for a refresh. Don't push yourself, because you'll need all the strength at boss time. Speaking of enemies, let's cover those. You'll notice how similar they are to the bunch we just fought, and you can tell you're getting closer to the epicenter of Gygas' baddies because of the evolution. You have the automatic power robot. It'll take some time to drain the life of this mechanical beast because it keeps replenishing its HP. Military Octobot. He may only have 4 extremities, but you don't want to call him a Tetrabot. That just sounds weird. Mook Sr., this old tentacle foe, has some nasty PSI attacks and can diamondize you with his evil glare. We have Starman. No ranks yet, but he still beams you up. Easy there, Sky. And the Starman Super. It can revive fallen party members, so rough it up first and hope for the elusive Sword of Kings. We'll detail that in a little bit. Use your Eraser Racer to get inside the actual dungeon and follow this path. Straight through the first room, and in the second room, head down through the bottom door. Then directly across to the right, and to that far door you won't be able to see it first. Then head down and follow that around until the staircase. Take that door, and the next room, follow the path to the right, diverging at the first big square, only to get the Keppa Life Noodles. If you ever needed that item, it's now. Then finish out this part of the map and get ready to make a very important life choice. If you choose the red pill, continue to use caution and make your way through the factory base. If you choose the blue pill, accept your fate of being trapped forever in the Stonehenge base because you're going to forever be looking for the Sword of Kings. Red pill people, skip to this timestamp. Blue pill people, skip to this timestamp. What are you going to choose? What are you going to choose? Looks like you've chosen the blue pill. Looks like you have all free time in the world. Good to know. I'll send you my laundry to do since you're so bored. In taking the blue pill, you'll have fully signed onto hanging out in this section for many, many hours. Freely walk around each path collecting the presents you want. No rush though, take your time. Have some fun seeing the sights. While you're enjoying yourself, look for these golden boys. These are the Starman Super. They're a bit unique because they have a chance of dropping Pooh's only weapon in the game, the Sword of Kings. But it's not as easy as that. The chances of them dropping is 1 in 128, meaning that there is a 0.78% chance they will drop it. Each battle has that chance. It's not a summed up total, meaning 100 fights later, the odds don't change. It doesn't mean that if you fight 128 Starman Supers, then you'll get the sword eventually. No, it means that each battle has less than a 1% chance of finding it. That's what makes it so tedious. If you've heard anything about this Sword of the Kings, that's what people are talking about. If you do not get the Sword of Kings before beating this dungeon, you will never have a chance to get it again. There are no ways to cut corners either, and the entire process is up to luck and the fate of the Earthbound gods. So, here's another chance to choose this puppy. You've chosen the red pill. You must not have much spare time. Maybe you're a parent. Maybe you're just not a masochist. Whatever the reason, in this first room, head to the far right before taking the ladder down to grab that broken harmonica. It will eventually become the baddest beam, which is a great weapon for Jeff. Double back to the door and follow that ladder down, continuing to the end of the room, avoiding any enemies as you can, because they are some heavy hitters. The next room you come to is the exit mouse room. Grab a buddy and keep moving. The final enemy-ridden room is the strobe area. There are a few presents to keep an eye out for and one to avoid. Through the door, take the path to the left. Don't continue straight. It's a broken trumpet. It makes a defense shower, but if you have the defense spray, you're good to go. Follow that path to the top, and when it forks, take the top for the speed capsule, then the bottom for the pixie bracelet for Paula, then the middle for the boss room. This room will lead you to an eerie sight. You'll find a good amount of friends trapped in glass containers. They have been kidnapped by the Starmen because of their mental abilities, and are either going to be used in experiments, or to manipulate them, or to kill? I don't know. Either way, you have some saving to do. In the next room, you'll find the big man on campus and the boss of this episode, Starman Deluxe.
You are much stronger than our intelligence indicated. We are not prepared for that eventuality. The prophecy from the Apple of Enlightenment may be true, but you must not underestimate us.
That's my Starman Deluxe. Do you like it? Of course you did. Get ready for quite a fight. He's as heavy a hitter as he looks. According to the Earthbound Player's Guide, it is a prototype that took so long to build that only one could be made. The Starman Deluxe enters the battle with an automatic PSI shield beta, rendering any psychic attack on him useless, unless Jeff uses the neutralizer or the shield killer. So if you have those, use them. During the battle, it can fire a beam, as well as put up PSI shield beam. The Starman Deluxe is notable for being the first enemy in the game capable of using PSI Starstorm, which is only the alpha version, but still. It also has the ability to call for help and have a Starman or Starman Super join the battle. But the defeat of the Starman Deluxe automatically results in the defeat of all other Starmen and Starman Supers that join the battle. Once it's defeated, all of the henchmen retreat to Stonehenge Base and are never seen again. The first thing to do is use PSI Shield Omega to counter Starman Deluxe's PSI Sandstorm. If Jeff has any of these multi-bottle rockets that I told you to bring, use them to end the battle quickly. It should take one. One rocket should take him out on the first turn. If you don't have any rockets, use physical attacks to take him out. Make sure to keep your shield up if it goes away. If you didn't save any bottle rockets for him, you just keep bashing. Make sure to keep your HP up as high as you can. Starstorm is a pain. And just like that, the base is empty of its robotic inhabitants, and you are good to talk to your newly saved friends. Another boss down and another step closer to the endgame. Doggone, you're making me so proud. The real highlight of this run is the Sword of Kings, so I want to hear all of your stories. What pill did you choose, and were you able to get that sword? I have played through this game so many times that I've lost count, and I have never, ever gotten the sword. So keep that in mind if you're struggling to find it. It's very defeating, so don't sweat it, man. Anyone out there find on their first couple or even their first fight? I won't believe you if you say you did, but it'll be nice to hear. And like that, we're done. Keep an eye open for next week's boss, the odd twist of metal that'll scramble your mind. The Electro Spectre. And if you're in the mood for some more boss videos, click on the left playlist. And if you want some other Earthbound videos to get your thoughts through the day, click on the right one. And like always, later days.